Lisa from Life in Layouts, and today I have for you sketch number 11 from the Sketches for the 6x6 paper pad. This is the class that Allison Davis is putting on, and I am following along with. On this layout, I'm going to be scrapbooking some photos from a Disney cruise that my friend went on. And the main aspect of this particular sketch was 6x6 pieces of paper. So I do have the collection Magical Adventures in the 6x6, and so I pulled that out first to see what I could work with. I also have Simple Stories Let's Cruise and Echo Park, all of the Echo Park papers. I pulled out this wood grain for one of the 6x6s. I'm going to use one side for the wood grain, the other side are life preservers, and I'm going to move the papers around quite a bit until I figure out what I want. I do end up changing that red paper in the center because it has a bunch of castles on it, which, you know, it's Disney, so it works, but it just didn't flow very well. And so I pulled out this navy paper with the anchors on it. I also went ahead and replaced the polka dotted paper with some Mickey hands, because I felt like there wasn't really any Mickey paper in this, and I felt like that brought it together. I did go ahead and cut down my photos, and I changed it up from the original sketch, but as part of the class, Allison Davis does give you some variations in regards to how you can cut your photos differently. And if I really thought about it, I could probably figure it out, but you know, sometimes it's nice just to have somebody else do all the work for you. I do know that she plans on doing this particular class again, I think when this class is over. So we are currently about halfway through, and you know, in another 10 weeks or so, be on the lookout for this class to be reposted on the Scrapbook Generation Facebook group. So if you want to get into it, you can, and I highly recommend it because it is a really amazing class. I do go ahead and use faded jeans to distress all of the edges, and I feel like that brings in and ties in all of the papers since they are from several different collections. 2 of the pieces of pattern paper are to be cut down to 3x6. When I went to cut it down, I realized that they were going to be covered up by photos anyways, so I went ahead and cut those 2 squares down to 3x3 and just left that white space because I knew that the photos would fill it in. So I did that with the hands paper as well as the anchor paper. And for some reason, my paper didn't cut correctly to a 6x6, or the paper isn't 12x12, so there is a little gap over there on the far left-hand side. And I'm not too worried about it. It's not something that you can really see when the entire layout is together. There's so much more going on in this layout that it's not really a focal point. One of the sketch variations was to cut the photos down to a 4x2, which I normally wouldn't think that that would be a size that I liked, but these 2 photos of him in the pool, he's so little and the pool is so big that it was really easy to cut out a lot of the dead space of that water and just have it really focus on him. So I really like that size photo for those particular photos. I did go ahead and stitch around the entire edge. This time I just used my centering ruler, and I picked this up on Amazon. It is extremely affordable. I think it's like less than $5, maybe $6 at the most, and I use it for all kinds of things except for centering things. I don't tend to use the centering part of it. It does have little lines on it so that you can make your journaling lines, and I use it quite a bit for that, but it also has a piercing tool as well, so you can use the holes that are in that section to make a straight line. And I really like the size of the stitch. It's a longer stitch. One, it's a lot easier to scrapbook and sew on your papers because when they're longer, you have less sewing holes that you have to go into. I did have this one additional photo, and the sketch does not call for this, and that's what I love about using a sketch is you can change it up however you want. So I went ahead and used that polka dot paper. I made sure that my photo was centered in the middle of the polka dots so that when I trimmed it down, you only saw the khaki color. You didn't see any of the polka dots. That just meant that I had to cut down my photo a little bit just to make sure that it worked. So these photos, again, were on a Disney cruise, and they look like they're two different sections of the boat. There's like a Nemo's Reef, which looks like a little splash pad, and then a pool. Even though it's not the exact same time, he's in the same swimsuit, so I'm thinking that it was around the same time, so that's why I was okay with going ahead and putting them on the same layout. Up there at the top on the right hand side next to that picture with the Nemo's Reef, I go ahead and add a chipboard sun and a yellow label tag as well as a red heart, and then I am also going to add a little sticker that says all aboard the SS Good Times, which I thought was pretty cool. On the bottom left hand side of my layout, I had a lot of struggles with that cluster, and I think it was because I was trying to use multiple chipboard pieces, which sometimes that is just too bulky, and I need flat stickers as well as chipboard stickers and puffy stickers. So sometimes I just feel like you just need lots of different textures to make that cluster work. So I did end up going ahead and putting a lighthouse on there, and it doesn't show up a lot because there's a stripe paper on the background, and then obviously the lighthouse is stripes, but it gives it just enough, it's subtle enough that you can tell that there is something there, and I really like that black and white next to it. And then I added a little bird and a red tag that says big smiles, and then a little blue heart as well. And then to top it off, my title is just going to be Fun on Board, and I used some of the stickers from the sticker sheets. Here is my final layout as well as some close-ups. If you enjoyed this video, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. I will definitely link below the Scrapbook Generation Facebook group as well as a link to this class. I think that I say it every week when I post the layouts, but this is a fabulous, fabulous sketch class, and I would highly recommend it. And so I will link it below for you guys. All right, if you enjoyed this video, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already and you want to see more double page layout inspiration, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope that you have a scrappy day.